So the Apple headphones are what most people use if they own an iPhone, mainly because it actually comes with the iPhone. But today we'll actually be reviewing the Apple headphones and seeing if it's worth it to upgrade to something that's a similar price but a different style of headphones, such as this pair of JBL headphones, which is more of an in-ear style with a replaceable tip. Now there's no doubt about it, the Apple headphones are pretty good headphones, but when it comes down to it, there are some things about it that make it not very good. So we'll be looking at that in this video. So when it comes to the design, as you can tell, it's a different style. This isn't supposed to actually sit in your ear. Instead, that more of an oval shape makes it sit around the outside. That might seem a bit gross, but basically what that means is that Apple doesn't really have to include the replaceable tips that they have at the end. Although that would be better because some people have ears that are different to the shape that the Apple headphones have them as, so noise could easily escape. Also, when it comes down to the build quality, it's just made of plastic. Now I guess that means that in the middle of winter when you put your headphones in, you don't get cold ears from it being metal, but yeah, I'm not sure that too many of us will be worrying about that. But it doesn't get that same premium feel that other headphones at this same price would have. So with most of the in-ear type of headphones with a replaceable tip, they have a small pair, a medium pair, and a large pair. Plus, you could probably order a different size one online and it would fit. You just have to make sure that it is the same size. They're usually all the same. The Apple headphones have a volume control that is made of plastic, and you could probably bend it. Actually, I'm not even trying and I could bend this easily. But luckily it's not brittle plastic that if you do bend it, it's just gonna break. I wouldn't really recommend bending it though. But say maybe if you have this in your pocket and you kneel over, this could easily snap. Whereas with the JBL headphones, wherever I put them, why are they on the ground? Whereas with the JBL headphones and some other headphones, it does have a slightly smaller thing, but it only has one button, and the idea here is you can press it once to pause it, and then you press it twice to do different things, but it doesn't have the volume up and down, I don't think. It would be good if you could remap these. I don't know if you can really do that. It depends on the application that you're using them in. It might have a different function. If you're running Android, Android does usually have that sort of capability of you can download an app and then remap buttons. But this is still plastic. You could probably hear just then it hit the chair, and then of course, because it's being metal and then the chair's plastic, it made a noise. But this here is still plastic, but because it's not as big and it's probably a bit thicker, you can't bend it. I could not bend it at all, which is good. And I wouldn't really want to see this made out of metal. I don't think it needs to be made out of metal. This pair of headphones by JBL have kind of a flat cable design. This means that if you roll them up, it's a bit easier to roll them up and a bit easier to pull them out. Now this doesn't mean that it won't get tangled, it just means it'll make your life a bit easier. Whereas the Apple headphones just have a straight up round cable that's made of plastic. Now this isn't braided, some headphones do have braided cables, that gives it a nice premium feel. But other than the fact that they always get tangled, which I did not try and do just then, it just does that of its own accord. I would say that the JBL headphones still get tangled, but definitely at a less higher rate than the Apple headphones. I don't know why. Maybe it's the cable length or something like that, or the cable design, but it just tends to always get tangled. So the one complaint that I have heard people have had with Apple cables is that this right here, that connection, can sometimes break. Now, unless you're really badly treating your cable, this won't be much of a problem, but just keep in mind that if you have it on a sharp edge, something like that, that might ruin the connection. Whereas with these JBL headphones and with most others, they actually have this bendy rubber tip on it that is hard to bend and it will not fall out easily. So we've covered the design of both of these headphones, and it's safe to say that the design on the JBL headphones and other headphones similar to this is quite good. It has a nice cable, a nice plug, some of them have braided cables, and it's made of metal. But some people don't like the in-ear style, and that's when the style of the Apple headphones come in. And you can get other headphones that have this style, but Apple is the most well known for this design, which is why Apple calls them earpods, not necessarily earbuds. Oh wow, how'd that get tangled up so much? This is why I like AirPods, except I don't own any. I wish I did. So if you're answering your calls and relying on this to answer your calls and you have headphones plugged in, they both have microphones on them, but you'll notice that on the Apple one, it actually won't have a dedicated hole where the microphone is. Now, I'm not sure how they get away with doing this, but I guess that maybe there's a gap on the side and noise somehow gets in with the microphone. Whereas with the JBL headphones and pretty much every other headphones, it has this little hole here. So not that hole is going to change the way you use your headphones. It's nice to see that they both have microphones on them. And the microphone quality is more than good for just something like calling. But now let's actually get on to the most important part, which would be the way that they sound. So I noticed that the overall sound quality was better on the JBL headphones and that some noise did escape on the Apple headphones, but that really depends on the shape of your ear. Since Apple doesn't really provide any replaceable tips, you can get third-party ones that you can put over your Apple headphones. I'll try and find some, and I might have links in the description below. But I think on the Apple headphones, you're not getting a sound that's really as crisp as the JBL headphones. Now, off the top of my head, I actually don't know the name of the JBL headphones. They are my daily driver for quite some time now. Well, probably not half a year. It would be, I got them as a Christmas present, so I do like them very much, and they'll be my favorite headphones. The name of the headphones should be on the screen now, somewhere up there. But I found that the Apple headphones, the noise was a bit more muffled, if that's a good way to describe it. If you're only using the Apple headphones, never using other headphones, you probably won't be able to tell, but if you're constantly switching, you may be able to tell a difference. I think the sound quality is a bit better on the JBL headphones. So I guess it really depends on your preference. I quite like the in-ear style of the JBL headphones, but some people don't like that and like the design that Apple has gone with, more of an oval pod design. So if you had an iPhone and you had the earbuds that came with the iPhone and you think that the sound quality is fine and it fits your ear and all that, definitely stick with the Apple headphones. I think they're still a great pair. If you, say, maybe lost the Apple headphones or you don't have one, I would say instead of spending $50 on getting an Apple pair of headphones, you would spend $50 on getting other brands of headphones such as JBL or maybe Beats. Well, actually not Beats because they're owned by Apple and they're still expensive. But yeah, I would get something like JBL, or Sony has some good headphones. So I hope you like this video. It may be a bit different to some of my other videos, but I'm gonna be honest, the reason why I made this video was because I'm actually waiting for my phone to come in the mail, and then I'll do a review on that, and it hasn't been a while since I made a video, so this is kind of like an in-between video of the next video that I'm gonna make, because this is like the first thing that came to mind.